right. All right, folks, we're back Facebook Live. We've got Stan, Matt, Nat, and Paul in the studio, and we're about ready to go live on radio again. Be sure to ask your questions if you have any.
Are you talking to me?
I was not talking to you, Paul.
And we're back with Shades of Green and Nat Hodgson and Matt Walker from Southern Nevada Home Builders Association. When we went to break, we were talking about codes. Let's pick that back up again and tell us about some specific issues that the design codes give us when we're building homes that makes a difference.
Well, again, what we're being a big proponent of now is going with the more ERI score and the performance of the home.
What's that?
And see, energy rating index, and you model it in an approved software. So, not all windows are made the same and are installed with the same features that are around the window. You might have this product in this house and the same exact product in another house, but because of another attribute of the house, it actually is going to perform better. Well, the software allows you to model it that way, and at the end of the day, that's what you want. How much energy does this house need to operate? And that ERA, that's kind of the basis behind it.
And that advanced computer modeling, as it becomes more and more accurate, can model the orientation of the home. So a solar panel on one home is not going to perform in the same manner. If you need additional shading on a particular window, it's going to perform much, much better with certain orientations. And so it really is about getting that individualized approach that can help you guide you to the right components to reduce the energy usage of that home as it performs over time.
So, for example, putting film shading on the north-facing windows doesn't have near the effect that it would on a south-facing window. So, thank you for that. That's a good update on codes, and we're going to transition over and talk about a legislation update on bills and what's important. What are the important bills out in front of the session right now for new home buildings?
Well, it is the energy session, and we're certainly involved in that. It started with the interim period leading into this session with the new energy industry task force. Came up with a couple of dozen recommendations on how we can move forward investing in green energy technology and modernizing our grid. And we certainly we're happy to be involved in that conversation. There's several other interim committees that are considered. There's the governor just called an executive committee that is going to look at deregulation, which home builders will be at the table for that. There is potential targets for energy storage, and we're really excited about that concept in grid modernization, because those storage targets will not only be met on the utility side of the meter, but also could be met on the customer side of the meter, and could also be met using even your car in the future. So it really is a holistic look at grid modernization that recognizes that home building, home design, and community design is just a key component of the grid. And when you talk about grid modernization, we happen to think home building it should be right at the forefront of that conversation. And so we're very glad to be taking an active role in those conversations.
And if you look at it as a whole, you'll see one common thread of everything we're talking about here. We all know the goal we want to get to, using, it'd be great to use no fossil fuels and just have everything producing. But we need to take a look at all the regulations or all the codes that are in front of us that are barriers to be able to get to that end goal. And that's why we love being at the table. There's so many that are out there, and you've got to take them one at a time. And this task force and the new team, the new committee that the governor put together, that's a lot of issues, but just on the one committee. But we got to start somewhere.
And also modernizing the regulatory structure. I think there's going to be a lot of conversation about PUCN reform, how those dockets work, how stakeholders, whether that be green technology advocates or home builders, can be involved in a more meaningful way by having that information earlier in the process. I think there's also a proposal we're very excited about in having a couple of advisory non-voting members on the PUCN itself, of which there would be proposed to be a builder representative. So really, really excited. I think the developments over the last couple of years were a real eye-opener for a lot of folks that hey, if we're gonna do these new modern concepts in grid design, home design, we can't use this same old regulatory structures to meet those grand new ideas and targets. And so we're certainly happy to be a part of that conversation at the legislature as well.
Is there some place that our listeners can go to track the legislation and follow a bill?
I happen to think we have the best legislative website in the country. You can go to the Nevada legislative website. They have a program called Nellis, and that will show you all the exhibits, upcoming hearings. You can track a number of bills for free, where it'll automatically email you when those handful of bills that you're really concerned about on the energy side come up for hearing. You can comment online. You can watch the videos, past hearings and live hearings as they're ongoing. You can testify from Grant Sawyer. I think we've got the most innovative website and way to get involved in the process in that way. So certainly folks can reach out to us or reach out to Annette, and we'll happy to plug you into that system.
Excellent, thank you. And
yeah, I think NELA stands for Nevada Electronic Legislative Information System. So, and you get to it through the website is nv.gov, I think, and then go to the legislative tab and then into NELIS, and that's how you can navigate that system.
thanks, Dan.
Sure thing.
Hey, what if our listeners want to find out more about home efficiencies? Is there a website, or if they want to do their own research, where might they go find that kind of information? Like, what might be important to one homeowner may not be important to another. So for them to go online and find this information and determine what's important to them, because, you know, there's a lot of novices out there that want to do the right thing, but they're not sure what the right thing is for them. Where might they go find this information?
Well, I'll speak to the product point. You know, just about every product, or if you just type in HVAC or lighting, there'll be numerous websites you can go for particulars. Because when you talk about the house, as far as they need to go to the builder website and see what they're doing that's innovative or energy efficient, and see which one fits their needs the best, I would say.
It usually call in the experts. That's what I do. I would call our members duct testers or energy inspectors, or some of the many energy professionals that can come in and do a full audit and rating of your home, and tell you exactly not just generally what new products are out there, but what new products are going to move the needle for you the most. What's going to be the biggest investment for you as a homeowner? I think that's definitely the best place to look. And of course, we have our Nevada Green Builder website. So for folks looking for new homes, that's a great intro to folks that are participating in our green program that includes energy and water savings.
Okay, great, thank you. So looking at a specific builder, Beazer.com, for example, and then searching for efficiency, and probably learn more there. And then as you're looking at homes, you want to be able to know this information before you start getting your home built, because a lot of this has to be incorporated from the ground up. So if you want specific overhangs or specific HVAC equipment in there, which stands for heating, ventilating, and air conditioning, you want to get this information up front so that the home builder can incorporate it into the design. As we're seeing now, the home designs are much broader than they used to be. It used to be you nail a bunch of 2x4s together, throw some siding and paneling on it, and you got a home. Now there's integrated designs that go into the structure as well as the operation of the home. And speaking of the operation of the home, what are we doing about training on these new homes? Do the home builders train the homeowners on some of these new products?
I know most of the builders that are our members, upon taking delivery, a homeowner taking delivery of the house, they actually do a walkthrough. It's orientation, because it is like driving a car. It's the technology out there, how to even use their GFI outlets. Some of them coming from houses don't have that. But if they have a smart panel, if they have something integrated with the HVAC system, with the thermostat control, that's all shown to them during the orientation. But and the trades do teach the builder reps how to use their product as well first.
Thanks, Nat. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we come back, and how we integrate some of the energy storage, energy capture with electric vehicles and everything else. We'll be right back to Shades of Green.